All right, hey, good morning, folks. Once again, we are back taking a look at the tropics. Today is still Tuesday, November 8th, 2022. This is your regional Northeast Florida update on Tropical Storm Nicole. This is a video just for Northeast Florida. We have another video on the page or on the channel, depending on where you're viewing us, and that is for the more broad brush update on Nicole for the whole state of Florida and points beyond. But this video will be specific to the Northeast Florida area. I know we got a lot of folks there watching us, and that's where I live, so that's what we're going to be talking about this morning. And a lot of people are curious about that. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. You can see Nicole off the coast this morning, getting herself together, becoming a nice little storm. And is definitely going to be an issue for our area coming up over the next couple of days. So let's go ahead and go right to the National Hurricane Center's morning forecast. This is the 10 a.m. advisory showing the potential for Nicole to become a hurricane before she makes landfall sometime early on Thursday. So we're looking at this track. There's a couple things for our area specifically I want to talk about. And one of those is the more northward trend in the forecast track. So the Hurricane Center has slowly been moving this forecast up the coast a little bit. Now, I tell you guys don't look at the center of the cone, and that's fair. You shouldn't, because Nicole is going to bring big impacts to our area regardless of the exact track. Okay, I want to make that clear. This is not an Ian where there's a line in the sand and half, the coastline gets screwed and people inland get nothing. Everyone's getting a rough time from this. This is not going to be, we're on the opposite side of the storm essentially. So where Ian came in behind us and went around us, Nicole is going the other way. But the difference is instead of being on Ian's good side, we're going to be on Nicole's bad side. And that is where a lot of those impacts are going to be. And as I talked about in the other videos, you have this nor'easter effect where you have the strong high pressure sprawling across the Carolinas. That's helping to enhance Nicole's onshore winds and helping to enhance her impact to our area. So we're getting kind of blasted from both sides. Again, Nicole rotates counterclockwise, the high pressure rotates clockwise, and that combination of flow and the sharp pressure difference between this high and low pressure is funneling these winds in. So we would have a nor'easter regardless if Nicole here was here or not, but you add in a tropical storm and you have the recipe for a significant storm and some significant impacts with it. So the first thing I want to say is the forecast trends are slowly shifting northward. We think this recurve is going to be kind of lazy. So, instead of coming in down here by West Palm Beach, we think maybe the landfall point could be closer to Cape Canaveral. Now, that's still not the worst case for our area, but it does bring the core closer to us. Instead of it coming in West Palm and curving way around us, we think now it's going to be more of a shallow curve, more closer to our area, and then a recurve that way. So, the potential for a higher end tropical storm impact event and potentially some hurricane force wind gusts at the immediate coast and some of our southern counties like St. John's, Flagler, and then towards down, Palm Coast, Daytona region is coming up. Okay, the tropical storm watches extend for our whole area, and they extend further inland now. Hurricane warnings, I believe, are stopping. Let's see. Let's double check on that, as I don't want to give y'all bad gouge here. The Volusia County, Flagler County line. So the southern Flagler border is where the hurricane warnings stop right now, but the hurricane watches extend all the way up to Ponte Vedra Beach. So that includes much of St. Johns County and all of Flagler County are under a hurricane watch, which means those hurricane conditions are still possible. Now, they have not upgraded that to a warning. The difference in a warning is expected, watch is possible. So tropical storm warning is up regardless. You're going to get a tropical storm, and you could still see some hurricane conditions at the coastline. And the other thing is the difference in the track means that if you come further north with this track, you bring the core of Nicole's strongest winds closer to our area, which means instead of going from, say, a low-end tropical storm with winds 40, 45 miles an hour, like a lot of us got with Ian inland, you're talking about potential for wind gusts 50, 55, 65 miles an hour and whatnot. So let's go ahead and time out how this looks. I'm not going to go into all the crazy different computer models and stuff. Y'all don't really care about that, I know. You just want to see what this looks like and whatnot. So let's go ahead and time it out. So this is Tuesday. So the rest of Tuesday, we're going to start on Wednesday. So Tuesday is today. Go vote. Go do your thing. It's going to be partly sunny. It's going to be nice. It's going to be breezy. But we're not going to see any weather impacts today. We're going to be, other than the wind, it's going to be pretty much a normal breezy day here in our area. No big deal. Wednesday is when this really begins to pick up, but it's more in the afternoon on Wednesday. So we're going to set you into Wednesday morning. You can see the steady line of showers coming on shore. The nor'easter, quote unquote, will be the first thing we feel, and that will be on Wednesday. So that starts in the morning. The showers start off very scattered in nature. They will likely hold off until the afternoon for much of our area. The more southern counties could see it earlier in the morning. But it looks like, Wednesday morning time frame should be mostly good for preparations, things like that. The wind will be picking up throughout the day. The wind gusts will become more frequent and stronger throughout the day as the pressure gradient tightens and Nicole approaches. You're going to see more winds throughout the day on Wednesday. But again, the rainfall holds off until the afternoon. This is later in the afternoon on Wednesday. This is about dark on Wednesday. You can see the rain has picked up more on the model. This is the NamNest high resolution model. Don't pay too much attention to how this hurricane looks on here. This model always overestimates how the hurricane looks. I'm just showing you general features and structures. We're not looking for specifics here. So by Wednesday evening, okay, we're dark on Wednesday right now. The winds have picked up. We are looking at tropical storm force gusts in our area. The rainfall is more persistent, more on than off at this point. As we go into overnight on Wednesday, that's when the heavier rain showers come on. Some of the first feeder bands come on, and that is when the rain picks up, and the winds are definitely going to be well into that tropical storm force range by this point. So now we go into Thursday morning. This is just before sunrise on Thursday. The storm has moved inland, and you see this big fat feeder band is starting to push northward into our area. This is where we could potentially see a few isolated tornadoes. This is where the heavy rain is going to fall. This is where it's going to feel much more tropical than nor'easter, and this is where the wind gusts could be in that 50, 55, 65 mile an hour range. It could be even higher at the coast. Now, this model is showing the landfall point still further south and the storm moving further west. I want you to just look at a general idea here, not a specific idea, because this could all be shifted a little bit further to the this could all be shifted a little bit further to the north. So the heavy rainfall really, the worst of the storm is going to be early Thursday morning, like around sunrise into Thursday afternoon for us. That's when the core of the strongest winds passes. That's when the heaviest rain passes us. These are where the tornadoes could be hiding. This is where the heavy rainfall is going to be. This is, early morning on Thursday, mid morning Thursday, and mid afternoon on Thursday. Now again, this is showing the storm way out in the Gulf of Mexico. I think it's going to be more over here. So take this big donut you see and just move it over a few hundred miles. So we will probably be in this part of the storm at this point, which will be more tropical rainfall and things like that. So it's showing us dry on this model, but I think it pretty much will be over here. So this passes through Thursday evening. The model ends at this point. It's only a 60-hour model, but the storm will be starting to recurve to the north. Dry air will start to come in on the backside of it, and the rainfall totals will be tapering off Thursday, but those winds will stick around Thursday night into early Friday morning before the winds begin to relax. So that, as far as the timing goes, kind of how it looks. Nor'easter Wednesday morning, heavy nor'easter Wednesday night, rainfall picks up Wednesday evening, and then the heavy tropical rain comes in Thursday morning, and the tropical storm force winds come in Thursday morning as well. And then that's where we have the highest winds and highest rains throughout the day on Thursday, and then the conditions begin to improve into Friday. That's your rough timeline. As far as impacts go, National Weather Service is showing the potential for wind gusts around the 58 mile an hour range. We're sitting on the threshold. Anything yellow is 39 to 58. Anything orange is 58 to 73. But we're on the threshold of each of that. So I think, that moderate tropical storm, the moderate high tropical storm is kind of where you're looking at right now as far as potential wind impacts. Those will stretch well inland. There will not be a cutoff like there was with Ian again. These are going to stretch all the way throughout north central Florida into Gainesville, 301 corridor, 95 corridor. It's going to suck for everybody. No one's getting out of this one. Storm surge is going to be pretty high. 3 to 5 foot of water rise is expected at the coastline. This is going to be a hell of a smack on the beaches. You're talking about high coastal erosion, coastal flooding. Again, 5 foot of storm surge. Those winds, those northeast winds, are already starting to push that water on shore, pushing it into the intercoastal waterway and things like that, and it's not going to let up. So there's water, the water can't escape. More water comes in. You have high tides right now. We just had a full moon. We just had a lunar eclipse, so your tides are all pretty elevated right now. You're going to have a pretty good water rise at the coast. It's going to be nasty. It's going to look like Ian did in St. Augustine and in the St. Johns River Basin. It's going to suck for sure. Flooding rainfall, not like my biggest concern with this one, but we're going to see about 4 to 6 inches of rain, 3 to 5 in some cases. They've got that down here. These totals are probably going to come up a little bit more. I think 3 to 5 is a good call, and then 5 to 8 is going to be the call down here into St. John's, Flagler, and some of Palatka, and even into central Florida counties down here. That's going to come up a little bit more. I would add an inch or two to almost all these totals. I think at the end of this event, that's when you're, with the updated forecast, with it coming closer, that's what you're going to see here. But notice how everyone's getting it this time. It's not like this sharp cutoff where, like, oh, if you live here, you got 15 inches of rain. If you live here, you got 0. It's much more uniform in the coverage as far as rainfall is concerned. And then, of course, we talked about a couple tornadoes are possible, especially for our more southern counties where those feeder bands are moving onshore. And again, those likely early on Thursday, so have ways to get alerts and all that. Some of the other totals, the Weather Prediction Center kind of showing the same thing, 4 to 6 for some of our southern counties, 3 to 5 for the more northern counties. GFS wind gust forecasts. Let me go back to the swath here to show you guys better. GFS forecasting wind gusts in the 55, 65 mile an hour range. I think that's a decent call right now. National Digital Forecast Database, they are even higher than that in some cases. if our model wants to load here. Um, the new model run ran, so we need to back that up one. So we'll back that up there, and showing the potential for some wind gusts well over 50 miles an hour are possible with the that model as well. European's a little bit behind schedule, but the European will catch up. Definitely going to be a pretty good wind event for our area. And again, the storm surge forecast, National Hurricane Center, 3 to 5 feet. So that's kind of what I got for you guys this morning on the Northeast Florida regional update. Again, if the forecast trends continue to shift northward, we'll talk some more tonight. I'll probably have a kind of a wrap up video tonight talking about what the changes are. We'll see how the models run throughout the day, but the threat to our area is increasing a little bit. It's going to be a tropical storm. It's going to suck for about 24 hours or so. Again, tomorrow. First half of the day is going to be decent for preparations. Second half of the day, use your best judgment. Be careful. Be wherever you're going to be Wednesday night and be able to hunker down on Thursday, and then life kind of goes back to normal on Friday, but expect some power outages and things like that in the meantime. You guys know how to do all your preparations for that, and please respect this. I know it's November. I know we're voting, and everyone's like, what the hell? Why is there a storm in November? There just is. It's a weird season. Just roll with it. It's what we're doing. So please respect it. And if you got any questions, let me know. DMs are open, pages open, YouTube comments are open. Let me know. I will do my best to answer any questions you got. That's all I'm doing this week. I work outside, so I'm not getting much work done this week. So we'll be here tracking throughout landfall. So that's what I got for you guys this morning. As always, thanks for watching and have a good one.